This is Alan Weinkrantz for SanAntonioStartups.com, and we're going to today get a sneak preview of a new facility here in town. It's part of IdeaGen, and it's called, there's Dean McCall, and there's Rudy De La Garza. So, the operation is called?
The Idea Finishing School.
Okay. So, guys, I'm familiar with some of the other models, around the country, like Y Combinator, Capital Factory, some of the others. Tell us a little bit about your model and kind of what your idea is.
So we are trying to do the same thing, create that economy and that culture here in San Antonio that's never really existed. You struggle like they do, you don't have those struggles in the valley and other places, and we're trying to really create that infrastructure and that camaraderie here in the city of San Antonio.
With the idea of getting great ideas
to the finish line.
To the finish line. Okay, so let's sit down and talk about your idea and how this is going to work. So guys, we're here in San Antonio at, I guess, the equivalent of a brand new incubator. And I wish that with the magic and power of technology, when I walked in, I could smell the paint. I mean, you guys are like brand new, getting ready to open for business. Talk about your business model.
Well, primarily what we've been doing is finding new technology companies here in San Antonio for the investors that we've been working with for some time. Over a period of time, Dean and I have been contacted by a lot of other investors and venture capitalists to look at technology and to look at the corporate structure of these entities. What we discovered is that San Antonio has a lot of these deals, but the investors don't know how to get in touch with them, how to find them, and the deals don't know how to present themselves to the investor.
So explain, I'm a startup, I've got a great idea, I've got some IP, I show up at your door, what will you do for me and how?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you get through the pre-screening process, we decide that you're somebody that we want to work with. We take you from the process of where you're at today, we clean you up, we get your marketing in place, we get your financials in place, we make sure that your technology's up to par, and then we put you together with all of our different investors who act also as our advisors. And then we take you from that phase to the next phase, which will be hopefully raising more capital for you. And then from that phase...
Well, I think what's interesting is that we have a exit strategy for you and for your investors. First of all, we get you in front of the investors with a proven product. So we proved out the product with you, we get in front of the investor. We have the opportunity to either taking you public or taking you to the venture capitalists.
Okay. Describe how you're funded right now.
We have a group of 16 accredited investors from San Antonio who are back in this project. They have the first right of refusal to look at every single deal that goes through our school and get it funded.
Okay. Now, how long is the process? Like, how long do you incubate my business once I'm in here? How long does this last?
We're looking at a 6-month time frame.
And then, so 6 months from now, I'm at a certain point. What do you do with me and my mashup, my fabless semiconductor, my firewall? Whatever I've developed. Where do I go?
I think what's interesting is that all the entrepreneurs that we've come across in the past and in the future, they're really good at one thing. They're an inventor, or they created a great idea that they're putting forth. But they don't understand corporate structure, they don't understand accounting, they don't understand the marketing and the business plan. That's what we do. We bring all that to the table for that entrepreneur. When we've completed that project and taken it in front of the money people, we stay on as management and help them manage that company in the future. We're protecting the investor and protecting the entrepreneur.
Okay.
This again is all about creating that infrastructure, that ecosystem that has never existed in San Antonio. Like when I talked to you earlier, I mentioned the part like in the Valley, if I had an idea and me and you get together and we decide that we want to do something, I can go to a service provider and I can say, hey lawyer, hey marketing guy, hey whatever, here's my idea, I need help on these parts. And most of those guys know how the process works. They'll work for equity, they'll take a piece of the deal, and the deal gets done. Here that ecosystem has never really existed, so it's very hard to get those deals done, and you spend all your time trying to do all the things that you don't know how to do, and then the idea really suffers for it. We're going to really be doing the day-to-day sort of trench work for these guys and spending 6 months with them and doing that work for them.
Okay.
Or with them, in conjunction with them, I should say.
So I'm an entrepreneur. How do I find you on the web?
You can go to ideafinishingschool.com, IDEAFINISHING School, SEHOOL.com. It's a long one.
Yeah. And then apply online.
There's a place to apply. There's a pre-screening form right now online, and we've already started looking at companies. So we hope to have the rest of the funding closed out here before the end of the month.
Okay. Without naming names, can you describe some sample technologies that you're looking at or fundamental ideas?
There's a mobile deal in the mix. There's a security devices play in the mix, and a web apps SaaS model. My personal opinion is that entrepreneurs will save the world, right? These are the guys that are going to create the next jobs, are going to create the next, rack space or whatever it is. I mean, that really came out of 3 guys at Trinity that approached 2 investors and started a company that now employs, 3,000 people? I mean, we want to repeat that model as many times as we can. Now, we're not trying to say we're going to create 3,000 people company every time, but, 50 people company, 100 person company, that's not a bad thing.
For San Antonio.
For San Antonio.
Okay, that's great. Well, thank you both for your time today, and good luck on your venture.
Thank you.
Thank you.